Once again, welcome to another episode of Connected Dots. I am Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, and this is how we get down. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're enjoying your holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever. I hope you're enjoying your holidays as we get it in and we do things live the way it's supposed to be done. You heard? So anyway, let's talk. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to Rickey Henderson, man. If you don't know who Rickey Henderson is, he was a great baseball player, led the league. You know what I'm saying? He's the all-time leader in stolen bases and the all-time leader in walk-off home runs. He died at the age of 65 of pneumonia. And I want to say rest in peace to the great athlete, Rickey Henderson. He played for the Oakland A's, the Mets, the Yankees, and those are the few other teams that I can recall. But Rickey Henderson will always be remembered as a class player. Rest in peace to Rickey Henderson. You know what I mean? Also, since we're talking, let's talk about Armando Baycott. People probably saying, who the hell is that? Now in sports, Armando Baycott used to play for the North Carolina Tar Heels. And he got some NIL money. And what he did was he decided to open up a hotel, him and his mother, etc., etc. People online are hating that the fact that he did this. They're saying that, having a hotel is a bad investment. And I say to myself, how is it a bad investment? Explain to me, how is it a bad investment? To me, I think that is a great investment. And the reason why I think it's a great investment is because, first of all, he's not buying this. See what I'm wearing? He's not buying jewelry like most of these guys do. They buy jewelry, the NIL money. They're on the sidelines or, in football or on the court, rocking their chains and ain't doing nothing. So to have the business mind and the asset to invest in something and get money, how could that be wrong? You're investing in something. That's what's wrong with us black people. We don't like to invest in nothing. We talk a big game. All we do is talk about people. But investing in something is always a great thing. So Armando Baycott, if I'm saying your name wrong, hit me up. I want to, shake your hand because you're investing in something. And people say the hotel is a bad business. No, it's not a bad business. You know what I mean? Because right now, when you travel, the first thing people do is look for hotels and all these other things. It's not a bad investment. To me, it's location. With the location of your hotel. You know what I'm saying? So stop downing the black man for doing something different than to buy the flashy cars and the jewelry and all that. So for him to be thinking that way, he already got my respect. So let's talk about the brother in the positive light and stop talking about the brother in the negative light. So NIL money, he did the right thing with it. He invested it. That way he's going to have something with it. Regardless if the business goes bad or good, when you're starting a business, if you already know, if you start a business, you don't see money until the first 3 years. So you're going to be in the hole. So you're not going to make money right off top. So those first 3 years, you're going to be behind. But after that, you should flourish. So like I said, he did something different. He didn't get a clothing line or whatever. He did something that was different that's going to profit and make the profitable right. To me, it's all about location. If you have a great location, then you'll be able to prosper and do what you have to do. So Armando Baycott, yo, peace. I love what you're doing. Don't worry about these haters out here. Keep making moves the way you make moves. They'll be all right. They'll follow in the end. They might even try to follow how you positioned yourself. But don't worry about how you position yourself. Keep doing what you need to do. Don't worry about them. All right? That's what's wrong with us. We need to support instead of hate. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean? So, Redman's album came out on the 24th. I want you to comment and I want your real answers. What do you think about Redman's Muddy Waters 2? Not 2 the number, but 2 meaning also Tell me what you think about it, because I heard it, and for me, it's not a classic. I know that. It's not a classic. It's a good album, but it's not a classic album. Okay, so I want your comments on what do you think the album is? Do you like it? If you don't like it, comment on that. Now, everybody has something to say about hip hop. Everybody wants to cancel Fat Joe, and everybody wants to cancel Busta Rhymes for what they were saying. First of all, I'm from the Bronx. And anybody who knows hip hop should know that if you lived in the Bronx, you're going to already know that there's black people and there's Puerto Rican. Black, Puerto Rican, Jamaican are the most people in there. Second of all, if you don't know the history of hip hop, don't talk. Don't talk about it. I'm just breaking down the facts. And I'm going to say this once and say it one time again. Jamaican people, black people, and Puerto Rican people are the reason why hip hop is what it is today. Now, you could say, no, they weren't. Yes, they were. When you had B-boys, most of the B-boys weren't black at that time. Most of the B-boys, the ones that spray paint and the one that did graffiti and the ones that were dancing, were Puerto Rican. Look it up. Look at the footage. In the 70s, you'll see what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And the Puerto Ricans back in the day wore the Nike Cortez with the fat laces. If you lived in the Bronx like I did, that's what it was. The guy that created hip hop is Jamaican. So how can you say Jamaican people not involved? Most of the stuff that we get are from the Caribbean and Africa. So how can you say they weren't involved? You know what I'm saying? One of the first DJs ever, Charlie Chase, in the 70s. He was part of the movement. So how can you not say Puerto Ricans was not involved? So Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, they were right about that fact. They were right that black, Jamaican, and Puerto Rican all had a hand in the start of hip hop. It wasn't just a black thing. Do you know why hip hop was what it was? Let's see if you know your homework, like I do. Hip hop was made to get the gangs of New York off the street. That's where the Zulu Nation came in. The Zulu Nation came in because at the time, they were a gang. People don't understand. There was gangs in New York in the 70s. We just don't talk about them. We don't glorify it. Like the Black Spades we had gangs in New York. Hip hop was a way to bring everybody together so they wouldn't be gang banging like they were. You see what I'm saying? And that started in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I don't want to never hear someone say Puerto Ricans weren't part of hip hop in the start. Yes, they were a part. Yes, they were. Jamaicans, yes, they were a part. If you're from the Bronx, you already know this. You already know it. If you watch the movie Beat Street, you already know it. If you watch Wild Style, who you going to see in the film beside black people? You're going to see Puerto Ricans because they talking to them about spray painting and graffiti. Hip hop ain't just the music. It's the culture. It's graffiti, breakdancing, beatboxing, rapping. You know what I'm saying? DJing. All of that is a part of hip hop, not just getting on the mic. And if you don't know that, then you need to leave this podcast right now. You need to leave it right now. How do I know? I was there. I lived in the Bronx at that time in the 70s. I remember the Blackout in 77. You know what I'm saying? I lived off of University Avenue. I used to live down the street from Latin Corners. I remember the Fun House. You know what I'm saying? I remember these places. Remember, hip-hop didn't start out in the club at first. It started out in roller skating rings, like the Rooftop, like Skate Key, because we couldn't get these places. The Roxy, all these places started out in roller skating rings. Then it became a club. You get what I'm saying? So how can you say what you're saying? Puerto Ricans was always there. And Jamaicans was always there. It's just that they don't have to talk about it. Kool Herc is Jamaican, point blank. If you live in the Bronx, you already know. Puerto Rican, black, and up near Gun Hole Road and all that, that's the Jamaican area. You should know this already. So why do we have to keep talking about something that don't make sense? Really, it doesn't matter who started it. Look at what it has become. Remember, hip hop was free. Free. We didn't do it for the money back in the day. We did it for the love. I want to know, freak all this, tell me who was the first guy that thought about, yo, we need electricity. Let's hook it up to the lamp. I'd rather know that than who started hip hop, because that was more important too. I want to know who said, let's go to the abandoned buildings and have parties for free. I want to know who started that. Freak all the dumb stuff. I want to know who started those. To me, that's more important than who started hip hop. I want to know who said, you know what? Let's have a block party. I'd rather want to know that stuff than the dumb stuff y'all arguing about. So this is the last time I'm going to address this. Let's stop talking about who started, who made it, and all this stuff. And let's talk about how we can incorporate it to being better. What can we do to make hip hop better? That's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about how you have an artist like Drake who doesn't want to battle, but he wants to sue. Come on, let's talk about that. That ain't hip hop. That's cornyism. That's being corny. Yep, I said that's corny if you want to sue somebody instead of battle. That's corny, yo. You corny for doing that. And that's what, and I said it, that's corny. You know what I mean? Let's talk about how your boy, you know what I'm saying, J. Cole, didn't want to, but that's corny. So like I said, it's been a bad year for the light-skinned brothers in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Because hip-hop is about battling, being the best, not sitting back in the cut, whining, I'm not going to battle. I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue him for that song. That's called being sucker. That's a suckery. We used to call that part-time suckers in my neighborhood. So all I'm saying is, and I say it once, I say it twice, and I say it again. If we're going to talk about hip-hop, let's talk about the essence. Let's talk about the music. I don't want to hear about who started it, who did this, and who did that, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? People from the Bronx know the real deal. We know who was there. And I know Puerto Rican was there. Jamaicans was there, and we were there. Period. You can't say no ain't what. Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Period. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. You know what I'm saying? Look up Charlie Chase, first Puerto Rican DJ. He'll show you. When you watch breakdancing, you're going to see mostly the people that breakdance, they were Puerto Rican, yo. There were some brothers, but Puerto Ricans was on that breakdance tip, son. For real. They were on it. The crew rock steady. All that. I'm trying to tell you. Let's not get it twisted. Know your New York City history. Period. Period. Know your history. How can you say this and say that? Learn your history, yo. Know your history. For real. So that's the only way I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with Fat Joe and Buster on that part. You know what I'm saying? They were there too. Period. You know what I'm saying? And your boy Cowboy was the one that phrased the word hip hop. Now, I'm not a culture vulture. That's not what I do. I'm just breaking down the facts that what I've seen in my day growing up, going to the parks. You know what I'm saying? Crotona Park. You know, all these places that I went to go see DJing at its best and its finest. And I've been around people that DJ, famous people that DJ. I'm not going to say their names. I don't have to do that to glorify who I am. I'm not going to do that. But in the same token, I know what hip hop was and how it started. You know what I mean? Period. So let's not go there with that. We all know it started in the Bronx in New York City. We know that. Cedric Avenue. I used to live on Undercliff Avenue, a block over. So come on. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is embedded in me. I'm just trying to let you know what it is. So all I'm saying is do your homework. Learn the important, forget who started. I want to know, like I said, who was the great mind that said, yo, let's get power from the street light. That's more fascinating to me. Who was the came up with the idea, yo, let's go to these abandoned buildings in the Bronx and throw parties for free? That's smart to me. You know what I mean? Zulu Nation was the one that said, yo, let's get the gangs and everybody off the street. Let's do stuff at the youth centers for free so we can come together as one. So Zulu Nation is very important and influential to hip hop. You know what I mean? So like I said before, and I say it again, man, get your history, get your facts right. Get your facts and history right. Of course, I'm going to get comments and all this stuff, and that's cool. Say what you want to say. I'm not going to be mad about it. You have the right to say what you want to say. You know what I mean? But do not condemn people without you knowing the history. We're going to condemn. How you going to you can't condemn nobody. You know what I mean? Fat Joe been in the game for a long time. He know what it is. He's from the Bronx, so he knows the history. Buster been in the game for a long time. They know the history. They know about battling and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is get the facts straight. Get the facts straight. You know, the 5 boroughs know the history. Period. They know the history. Outside the 5 boroughs, you probably heard about this and that and all that from other people. But know the history. You know what I mean? Know the history. Period. And if you don't know the history, look it up, Google, or talk to somebody who really knows the history. You know what I mean? When was the first official hip hop battle on wax? Do you know that? That's what I'm saying. Who was the first female hip hop artist? Do you know that? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, know the history. If you're going to talk about it, don't just give me segments. Know the history of hip hop. The history of hip hop. You know what I mean? Know the history before you come at people. All right? With that being said, Lou Icewater, a.k.a. Connected Dots. I just had to say what I had to say, and I'm done with it. You ain't going to hear me say no more about that. I'm just getting tired of people talking about that. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about uplifting the game. You know, when you want to talk about something, talk about that dude, why he ain't battling, why you want to get lawyers in this. Let's talk about that. Why you want to get lawyers. I can't respect that MC like that. You know what I mean? That's a move that we call that a sucker move. You know what I mean? Doing stuff like that, that's not standing on business. You supposed to be an MC, you write your lyrics like you claim you do, then battle. Why are you getting lawyers? That tells me right there. You know, you're a fraud. You don't want to battle. When somebody battle you, you're a fraud. Win, lose, or draw, you're supposed to battle, not be a fraud, son. You know what I mean? You're supposed to come out with another hot song to out-top that. That's what we did back in the days. We out-top people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he came with a song? I'm going to come with 2 or 3 songs. Not, you know what? I'm going to sue him in court. That's a punk move, yo. That's a punk move. For real. That is not hip hop. That's called punkatry. It's a new word. I made a punkatry. For real. You know what I mean? So somebody need to put them in the corner and smack some black on them, because that's not how we handle it. When somebody come at you on the mic, you take it out on the mic. You handle it like Mike, let the best MC win. If you can't do that, don't look at me, man. Don't ask me to support you. Don't ask me to buy nothing. No, I'm from the old school where we battled. Win, lose, or draw. We don't go to the courtroom like a little baby and start suing people. Come on. Who does that? Oh, a fake artist does that. So that shows you fake. All right? So with that being said, this is Lou Icewater. This Connected Dots. And this is the last time I'm going to talk about this for real. If I talk about this again, I want y'all to come up to me and say, yo, shake me up. Shake me down like you a mobster. All right? Anyway, peace, love, blessings. 1.